What's good, YouTube? We're back today with another Market Watch. And the first thing I've noticed is Psyframe Lord Omega is almost at its lowest point ever. Its lowest point was about 40 when it came out and sunk back there a bit after Pendulum Magician format as we headed into full power Pendulum. It's pretty low at 44 for what it is, and there's actually no hype surrounding it concerning the link mechanic where it can, its ruling was given that when it leaves the extra monster zone, it comes back to the main monster zone, which is very, very good for it. Gofu's at 1 over there, so maybe people are just figuring it's going to be a lot harder to make an Omega or make it relevant. And I think this is healthy. I think 40-ish is the healthiest price for Omega. I think a lot of people, if you've been waiting to trade for one, should trade for it. I wouldn't exactly go buy it right now. And it goes up rather quickly, too, though. There's very few quantities, keeping it from going back up to 50 here. And we go over to eBay, and it's actually a little more. So TCG Player is actually going to be trading the blows during this market watch, I've noticed, and be cheaper in a few places. I always stress check both, but it quickly, way more quickly goes up on eBay. So there's a lot more on TCG Player for cheaper. It's very interesting that players seem to be going to TCG Player at a few places during this market watch to sell cheaper. The True Kings are going up. I've just played with the deck. It's my favorite deck. I see so much why they're going up. The water one, Barastos, or however you say it, is $6 over here. It goes $5.50 for 3 copies, so you can get a playset for pretty cheap. Then it goes for 6, and this guy's got 15. So a lot of people knew these were going to go up, and no surprise there. $7, $7, $7 on the, how do you say that? Agnimazad. I'm open I got that right. But if we see it's a little more over here, $7.50. So you save here, and then $5.69 on 3. You actually save here as well. Although that's a German, so you save a penny, I guess. Nope, it's German. If you want English, TCG Player's actually winning there. Okay. Nice. So, like I said, it's going to be trading blows during this market watch, but this one's less noticeable. So, as to the True King hype real, I would say so. Last time I looked at this was much cheaper. Now it's headed towards $2 as well, it looks like, on here. And how many, let's see how many copies are in the way, because it's a super. And there's supers in every pack. Ah, wow, okay. Before it starts rising quickly, there's not many, but it looks like there's a lot of sellers prepared. They're ready for the buyout, right? Yeah, a lot of people want more, it looks like. A lot of people are ready for that. But I would probably bother to get these now if you want to play True Kings, if you have not already. They're the cheapest piece. I would trade for these at these price too if you intend to. I don't see them dipping back under 5 after the deck comes out. Even if the other pieces are super expensive, these are still ultras, and they're older, and as we see with older ultras, they tend to be what spikes really hard when a new set comes out. So I would definitely consider getting those now. Just don't hold off. Okay, so Metalfoes, Battle Baboon came out. They got 3rd at YCS Guatemala. There's still been no change. A lot of people are saying it's not a real deck. Even with the ban list, people are saying it's not real. It's really good against Paleozoic, if you guys have forgotten. It definitely had its moments with Paleozoic at full power. Now, Paleozoics and general card coming out is Imperial Order. Imperial Order is going to hurt this deck a lot. So, it's kind of just questionable if that one main deck card will hurt that bad. But everybody will have access to it. So, it should be very interesting to see how it interacts with Metalfoes. But Metalfoes are still super cheap. I would still suggest getting yours now. It's definitely something to consider. And an interesting thing I thought, Volflame's headed on up, actually, in a sense. I know it says it's been here for a while, but I did not know it was above $1 rare. That's pretty cool. Like, Gold Driver's not, but his super, of course, is more desired. This is very interesting to me. And Mithrilium under 5. If you've been waiting, if you just want to have this deck in your pocket, this is the price to get it at. It's next to nothing for the main deck, it looks like, outside of things like Desires. And if you already have Desires for your other decks, you can just swap them into here. So, like, in terms of being a deck that's very cheap, and Balbaboon is surprisingly cheap to me for the Super. If you remember Sylvan Cherub Sprout, or whatever that card was, it was a Super from the special. 1 minute, Sylvan Cherub. Yeah, it's Cherub Sprout. So, if you guys remember Cherub Sprout, when it came out, and it was only a Super, and I guess it had a long time as being a Super that you needed for the deck, it was $6. But our Balbaboons here are pretty cheap relative to a $6 card. So again, the entire deck just seems really, really cheap and really good to me. I definitely would not skip out on considering getting this. So we move on over to the Wind Witches, since we're talking about archetypes here. And I just thought it was really funny. This guy has 28 at 10 cents. And I was like, that would not be... If you're collecting cards, $2.80 for, like, you know, that many of a card is actually kind of cool when it has that cool of a design. So, like, if you collect, it's just funny that you can come on here and get so many for so cheap. eBay, of course, you can't do that, really, because they would be losing. And this, you can force them to pay at least $1's worth of cards. But, off of my tangent. Wind Witch Glassbell is headed way down continuously. Last time I think I reviewed her, she was 5 or 6, $3.55. Snowbell, most people only play one, hovering under $2. And Ice Spell has continuously gone down, but has still hovering around $8 for the waifu. I guess I should have said more about the point. I thought this was going to be an eBay tab. But here's something that I would heavily consider. This card went up to 40 and stayed at 35 plus for a very long time. And I think with Zoo taking more of a backseat to other decks like Paleos, I would highly consider this, because decks like Paleo are why this got played. True Kings will be setting up crazy boards with their True King, I think it's VDF or VFD. It's one of the two. But their boss monster alongside a Naturia Beast alongside something else. I think we're going back to the days of crazier boards being set up. The thing with Zoo, their boards weren't hard to break. Their boards were easy to break. The scary thing about Zoos is that they would just rebuild that board. Now we're going into, I think, a format where people are going to spend a lot of resources creating their board again. And at, you know, $24 instead of like that $30, $40 price point, I think we will see it start to go up again. And we have a seller here at under 24 for 5 of them. And I believe if we go to buy it now here, yep, 29. So, like I said, TCG Player throwing them blows right now with their users. I would definitely consider getting your sphere modes now. I would not consider investing in it, but I would consider having it, because I have a very, very huge feeling that we're going back towards a board format of break my board, can you break my board, I'm going to break your board, and that sort of stuff. Dinosaurs do have a searchable Dogoron, but that often can't be enough, so... and like I said, VFD actually negates that stuff. So I just think this is something you should consider for the next format. And I'm planting my flag on that now. Shaddoll Fusion is experiencing a buyout. Odd enough. It got bought out last night. I was just scrolling through and I saw it was headed there. There's a lot listed on here, but above its market price. You see the cheapest is at $13.50 over here. And its market price is $8.56. $13.50 is pretty expensive, but that's the DUEA. The cheapest near mint Megaton is $11.36. But if we go over to eBay, it's almost non-existent. 7 copies. The lowest is 10, and it quickly starts rising up. But that's the Mega Pack also. So about the same prices. You can get them a bit cheaper on eBay. But if we go to DUEA, 3 copies, 1 light blade, 1 Japanese at $30. I don't know what's going on there. And then we have the play set if you want to play set. You cannot buy 1 or 2 Shaddoll Fusions if you want on eBay that are from DUEA. That's pretty interesting to me. So like I said, they're just trading blows back and forth here, but there's a lot of points in this market watch where TCG Player is winning, so it seems like it's kind of back on track and fighting. So that grass looks greener is experiencing a spike. Paleozoic 60 cards won that YCS. Infernoid's still doing great, won Guatemala. It seems like 60 cards is the way to go for a lot of people, and it's a very good card to activate. Ghost Ash is coming out, but then if you activate Desires, they have to decide to do it there. If you activate Grass, they have to decide when to do it. I think it's still a very good card, and it's cheaper on eBay for a bit. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th listing finally catches up to where TCG Player's at, but that's less than 2 play sets. So I think it's going to continue to slowly go up. I think 60 cards is going to be what a lot of people still play. So I would consider trading for it right now, or if you have the money and you wanted it, I would consider buying it, but otherwise I would just chill on the card, because I think it's going to continue to go up a little bit. 60 cards, it feels so good to activate this card. This is one of the best cards to ever like feel that you activate. But then you run into other 60 card decks. The more people that play this, the more decks that have it, the saltier you get that it's in your deck. And especially when you draw it against 60 cards, and then you're waiting for them to turbo through their deck faster than you. The final card is Storming Mirror Force. I would highly consider getting your gold copies now at 750. Unfortunately, because look at these low quantities. So we see that it's the same price, but 19 total exist, and it quickly rises. So it's very few people are holding the last line at the 750 average market price. It's already 850 on TCG Player, so actually more expensive over here. And you see it quickly rises here too, and there's only 2 pages of them. There's a bit higher quantities over here, it looks like, but I think it's going to probably, you know, it's 850 here, 750 here, and quickly rising. A lot of people are choosing Paleo, and I think you want to have access to this in Paleo. I think it'll quickly become a $10 card once again. And the secret rare, of course, the higher rarity is, let me make sure this is fresh for you guys. $17 for the Unlimbs. I don't even know for the first eds. I actually just found 2 first eds in my house. So, let's see, 1920 lowest. Not too big of a difference from the Unlimited. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this market watch. I'm actually going to insert a few extra ads in here just to see what it does. I'm not going to make unskippable ads, but just tell me what it does to your viewer experience here at the end. Give this a thumbs up, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just trying to see what they do when I put more in. They should be pop-up, they shouldn't be that annoying, and they help me make a little more. So just tell me what happens when I do that. Thanks, guys.